Good afternoon. This is Bill Blowers, and I'm standing in my kitchen here in Santa Clarita, California, next to my General Electric profile stove. I'm going to show you something that I found very difficult to believe. We've had this stove for over 10 years. We've never had any issues with the stove whatsoever. It's a gas stove, as you can see, producing a nice blue flame, exactly what it's supposed to. About a week ago, when fixing my breakfast, I noticed that the flame was yellow to bright orange. And that alarmed me, because I know that that means that that's incomplete combustion of the gas, which could be producing soot and other harmful gases in the house. So I immediately called the gas company. I'm going to turn this off for a moment. And told them what was going on. And they said, well, it's your appliance needs adjustment. We'll send somebody out to look at it. Well, I did some checking around the house and I discovered that the flame in our gas hot water heater was also a bright yellow to orange flame. Now, you can't convince me that two appliances are going to do the same thing at the same time. Well, my wife, who is very good at finding information on the internet, came across an article about this problem being caused by a humidifier. Would you believe a humidifier? Well, let's take the next step in the story now. This is a Homedics Ultrasonic Humidifier. We purchased it because the air in the house is very dry these days here in the wintertime. And, we're getting nasal congestion at night and, lots of difficulty in breathing and coughing, waking up during the night. So we thought a humidifier would be the answer, and we got a good one, an ultrasonic one. I thought this was good also because it's silent, doesn't make any noise, and it's instantaneous on, instantaneous off. Well, I could never believe that this device, running on the far side of our home, probably 50 feet from where I'm standing right now, could affect our stove, which is right here. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of the effect this humidifier has on the flames coming from that stove. I have to change the camera angle in order to do this. I've set the camera up so that it's looking directly at the stove, and I'm going to turn on all 4 burners. Notice the nice blue flame, just exactly the way natural gas is supposed to burn. You can also notice in this, you can see the clock running on the stove. It says 7:01 at this moment. Now I'm going to turn on the ultrasonic humidifier. I'm pressing the on button right now, and it is now producing humid air. Now watch the flames. Notice that the flame on the left front burner is beginning to develop orange tips. Not quite a minute has passed, and you can see the flames turning orange. The 2 on the left, which are closest to the humidifier there, look at that. See that? The humidifier is causing that. Also notice that the flames are becoming less stable, dancing around more. Well, you've seen the video of the stove and how it's affected by the running of the humidifier. I'm here with a friend of mine, Don Coe. Don is a high school science teacher. And I've been discussing this with Don. And Don, what do you think the effect, what's causing those flames to change color like that?
When you first described it to me, the thing that came through my mind instantly was that this was a burning chemical reaction, that something had possibly spilled onto the stove, but it doesn't fit with the fact that this was going on for a long time, or that your hot water tank was also doing the same thing.
Exactly.
When you had talked about having discovered the connection between the ultrasonic humidifier and the flame, I could instantly make a connection there. Because my dad has an ultrasonic humidifier, and we have white dust all over the place.
Right. Now, and they talk about that in the instructions for the humidifier, they saying they do produce white dust caused by the minerals in the water.
Yes.
Okay. However, they don't say anything about the effect of those minerals beyond the white dust. Well, that tells me, number one, there's white dust in the air that I might be breathing in.
Yes. You're seeing the evidence of sodium, or we talked calcium, that there's a lot of calcium in your water.
Uh-huh.
And so those are the minerals that are being released by the ultrasonic humidifier and are floating through the air. And so you're seeing that, all that dust in the air that is then burning, or the minerals are being excited, and you're seeing that sense of the flame test. What it does concern me that I'd be wondering about is if there's enough of that dust in the air to cause the flame of your stove to consistently burn at a different color.
Mm-hmm.
What are you inhaling?
Do you think that the fact that obviously some chemical is being burned in, could that be causing something else? Do I have to worry about a gas that might be affecting us? Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, any other thing that might be occurring?
Not in this case, because what you've got is a mineral that is, don't think of it as being burned, think of it as being heated up.
It's probably not any effect on the flame,
Correct.
other than the color change, but what am I breathing? What is this thing releasing into the house? Especially, and keep in mind, those of you that are watching this, that when I first noticed this, the humidifier was 50 feet away in another room. And all 4 of those burners on the stove were a bright yellow-orange color. Yeah. So there's a lot of something being released into the air by the ultrasonic humidifier.
Right. And even if all of that dust is, what do I want to say, is non-reactive, so that it's not coming in as a poison, it's still, our bodies have an issue with breathing in dust and coating the inside of your lungs. And that to me is sort of more the big concern, is that's a lot of dust if it's causing your stove to burn differently from the humidifier being in a different room and that far away.
Yes.
I mean,
And if one looks on the internet, and I would encourage everyone that's watching this to look on the internet, you will see people describing this where the humidifier is in another room upstairs. Coming back to the issue that I see as the person who has this in his home, I'm not going to use this humidifier anymore. It's going back to the store, and I'm going to exchange it for one that boils the water and therefore does not release the minerals into the air. And I would encourage people to look into this. There may be a health issue here. We're not saying there is, but there are so many things affecting us today in the world that are causing problems later on in life. I'm not going to use this anymore. And I would ask people to think real hard about it, especially if you're using this around your babies, small children, in winter months. There is an issue here. Don, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Bill.
Appreciate it. We're going to be getting rid of this humidifier and getting a standard humidifier that works by heating the air. If you check on YouTube, you will find more videos just like this. And keep in mind that this was occurring with this humidifier not just 3 feet away from the fire like it is now, but over 50 feet away in another section of our house. So if you're having trouble with flames turning orange and you can't figure out why, take a look and see if you just bought an ultrasonic humidifier. Gas companies don't seem to be aware of this problem, but I think they should be.